Welcome to Full Sports Press. I'm your host, Brian Hill. This is the sports show that looks at History Channel's Alone, a show about people attempting to survive in the wilderness on their own for a $500,000 prize, and says, not a freaking chance you catch me in the woods. I won't even walk in my backyard. At night, it's terrifying out there. Now that the football season is officially over, it's time for Full Sports Press to move on to other sports. But before we do, we wanted to cover one last story and announce what many will consider to be surprising news. Cam Newton, the most likely former quarterback of the New England Patriots and current hat whisperer, has announced his retirement. Not his retirement for football, but rather the world of high fashion. Apparently, after realizing he may have spent close to $1 million on clothes he only wore once, Cam has decided to take a step back from expensive name brands and look elsewhere for his clothing options.
One of my New Year's resolutions is to not buy high fashion. I want to be more of a thrift store shopper. I want to be more of a vintage shopper. I want to be more of a person that finds gems in stores that are less expensive and to still be able to give it its fine look, but obviously on myself.
This is big news considering Cam has been a platinum silk card carrying member of the high fashion world for as long as he's been in the league. Some of you out there might not be familiar with Cam's fashion history, and if you're not, that's a shame. Because over the years, he's blessed our eyes with clothes us mere mortals could easily mistake for Halloween costumes or loose garments that he stapled together. Earlier this year, for example, Cam was spotted before the Patriots-Cardinals game in what appeared to be a printed wall tapestry purchased from Pottery Barn. After the game, Cam was seen riding off in the sunset, and what was initially reported as a tumbleweed rolling past was just Bill Belichick walking to his car in one of his patented shabby hoodies. Now clearly that wasn't purchased at Pottery Barn. I imagined it was purchased from a boutique where socks cost as much as a Honda Accord, but those days are now gone. And I'm sure there's going to be some mixed reactions because Cam's choice in attire hasn't always impressed. In fact, it's flat out rubbed some people the wrong way. I'm looking at you, Jeff Garcia.
Why are you dressing like that to bring more attention to yourself? I'd be trying to ask the equipment managers, put me in your jock sock cart and sneak me in the back door, and I'll show up on the field and do the best that I can.
Now, we should all take Jeff Garcia's criticism of Cam and toss it in the trash, mainly because it's clearly coming from a place of jealousy. I mean, just look at what happened when Jeff tried to get creative in the fashion department. Where do you even find pants like that? Most people would consider that to be illegal. And people can say what they want about Cam, but just because he dresses like Grace Kelly or Moira from Schitt's Creek doesn't mean that it's a bad thing or that he's bad at it. Look, I don't know the first thing about fashion, but people that do think that this shit looks good. So who are we? Who are we to judge this pioneer of fashion, this golden zebra of men? Sure, he looks like Dudley Do right after an acid trip, but he pulls it off, whatever it is. So with that said, I'm sad to say goodbye to Cam and his high fashion attire. But at the same time, I'm excited to see what kind of styles he throws together after a trip to the local thrift shop. Will he go for the vintage grandpa World War II survivor look? Or the, yeah, there are cats on this shirt and who gives a shit look? I don't know. Either way, I know we as a country are in good hands. And at this point in Cam's career, it's time he starts thinking about spending less on his closet because his football life is finite, but his fashion life is forever. That's all for this episode of Full Sports Press. Join us next time when we ask Kyrie Irving, that's right, our favorite guest who's actually never been here, why did he show up to the Suns game with a Wizards staff? First a sage and now a staff. If the Brooklyn Nets do win a championship, it won't be because of James Harden or Kevin Durant's top-level play. It'll be because Kyrie Irving said, "You shall not pass." Sorry, that was awkward. My voice cracked a little bit. And that's a Gandalf reference for you non-nerds out there. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. And it's cool if you don't, I guess. Just don't be surprised if I show up at your house and creepily stare at you through the window. It's your choice. Maybe you're into that. I don't know. If you are, good? I don't know. I probably won't show up to your house then. Mm.